Hey man, you ever felt unstoppable?
Ask around. I'm not the guy you want to go toe to toe with. You're a bitch. Your friends are bitches. P-word story. We don't do it. We try not to unless it's like something like this. So I've been pretty consistent, and my rage, I think, is absolutely justified on guys that actually helped with Nick's video, which you neglect to mention, and apologized, then took it back when it wasn't politically convenient. And you frame it in a way that, you know, I'm just going pedophile, pedophile, pedophile. You even use other characters to show it. So let's go over it now. This is funny right away. Although I don't think I ever called Zapti a pedophile. Before we had this information, before Nick did his research on the whole thing, and initially it was to find out if I Am Alex had falsely accused other people before or unfairly confused, and we certainly found out it was yes. I got really upset, and I'm not ashamed of it at all, because me and Nick did a stream on Zapti before we knew him, just crushing him. And it's for one of the reasons that, you know, Tech does make a good point. Zapti didn't stick up for himself, and this is what happens when you don't stick up for yourself. So he kind of shows, like right off the bat, that, you know, this is not something that I like doing, and I don't think I have a reputation for doing stuff like that. But he frames me with other people that I have disagreements with on the Zero situation, which I clearly played in the beginning of the podcast. Here we go. Fell back into what I usually do, and I only save the pedo jokes for the people who deserve it the most, and that's pedos. So terribly sorry. I hope we get this right. I hope this makes up for it.
If you guessed that this watery-eyed apology for calling someone a pedo is about Zapti, then congratulations, you're correct.
So what he's trying to show is that I got a double standard. Well, I never called your boy a pedo. I just said the situation was different. I said that I didn't care if people take them back. You know, technicals, I'm starting to think that the reason you included me was because I said your video sucked, which I maintain.
Get fucking good!
Yeah, that's it. I think it's because I said your video sucked. I don't think I said anything unfair. Unfair. I actually, your code for correct criticism to technicals, I abided by. I don't know.
As a bonus, here's Tommy laughing at calling Mini-Lad a pedophile.
This guy's definitely like, can you call him a pedo? This Mini-Lad character?
I mean, he admitted to like sending nudes to a minor. I don't quite recall.
No, really?
Yeah, I'm comfortable calling him that.
Yeah. Well, he's got red hair. Nobody believe it wasn't him.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Fucking ginger.
I don't. Did you like my joke about gingers? Because I certainly wasn't being literal. And me, like he, you know, this what tells me is he couldn't find a clip of me calling anybody a pedophile, much less Zero. So he got me inquiring about Mini-Lad, and that was Vault's opinion. I don't think I ever looked into the Mini-Lad case all that close to say that one way or another. I just thought the guy was funny, and considering I don't do this, we mostly make fun of people. If that's okay. I don't understand like how this makes me some kind of hypocrite because I was asking, is this guy, does he fit the bill? Who was he caught with? Like, what was the bottom line with him, Matt? Do we remember?
He was texting a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, but he had been talking to them since they were like younger. And he started sexually talking to them around when they were 16 and 17.
Since I didn't call him a pedophile, can call him a creep tech and still not be a hypocrite. This video that he brought up was in December 29th, 2020. It's a multi-news video. We go over Star Wars theory, who cried about fucking Luke Skywalker. Great episode, by the way. Wi-Fi, his comeback, Dream was hot at the time. Pyro News, all nine. You know, so it wasn't even a stream about thing. I laughed and made a joke. Well, he did that to me. Fair enough. But that's it. I don't think I called him a pedophile. I was inquiring about it. It's like a fucking comedy news show. that's what we do. So, but let's keep going. Him. Fucking ginger.
Fucking ginger.
Pedophile. Pedophile.
Wait. Hey, yo, hold on. Hey, yo, this shit kinda live. You can stay. You can stay. Yeah, you? Yeah. Matter of fact, you can have her. Hey. Jesus Christ. When in Rome.
So, all right, like, I'm not mad about the bit, but it's completely unfair. Because the guy,
funny.
like, yeah, the bits are funny. You know, even that Jordan Peterson thing's pretty fucking funny. You'll see. You'll get a big laugh at me. But I don't know. I don't know if this is a surprise to any of you, but a lot of you guys come here to laugh at me. You know, it's kind of the whole thing. You know, do I get real? Do I go over the top and then get angry? Yeah.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
But I don't know if I'm always
color.
unhinged. Tech's video is super informative and full of nuance. I learned so much, and if you believe any of that, I have a bridge to sell you. Yeah, I'm basically come to the conclusion that this is done on purpose and he's spending clout capital. Because the communities don't overlap. Up until this, I didn't check. I'm sure I'm going to get one now, and as the video grows, I haven't gotten one tweet, one negative tweet, or one comment on my YouTube, because usually when stuff like this happens, I get bombed. Right? And maybe I will now. But yeah, I didn't do what I was accused of or like hinted at. Wink, wink. So this is my other favorite word. Sociopath.
Well, I'm the Joker, baby.
Zapti told people he was a sociopath.
All right, here's the thing. Can't deny this one. He's got it right on the money. In 2017, before I know Nick or pretty much anybody on the news team now, I tried to reach out to Zapti because the story sounded like bullshit. I was repeatedly called a pedophile over and over again. So as I actually know what it feels like for supporting Zapti, or at least trying to get to the bottom of it. When he gave up, throwing the towel, yeah, I made a stream on him and goofed on him. And that's why I was so weepy-eyed before, because I felt awful about it. I guess I don't like doing that type of thing.
Sure, I said I was a diagnosed sociopath, or I said antisocial personality disorder. To me, it's two sides of the same coin. I don't really think that difference matters that much.
You'd think the case would end there, but not for Nick and Tommy C.
Why would it end there? We were searching for information, and I wasn't even doing. Nick did all the work. I didn't do anything. I just supported it, just like I supported your video on Sky. That's the work that I did, and fired up a string and talked about it. Nick did the hard labor, and it wasn't because that's not enough. We were trying to see if Alex had hurt everybody else, and I'm kind of, if you want to say I worked on it, I'm kind of proud of that. I don't take that back.
No. Long after everyone involved stopped giving a fuck, both of them went on a moral crusade on Zapti's behalf to stop the evil content creators who had already...
We made a stream on him, making fun of him. We had no idea until Lazo got it. And it wasn't a moral crusade in the sense that it was like, he's innocent, we'll get it, you know, he's innocent, we'll get him. Let's look into this, and look what fell out. You make it seem like we used it to attack Bionic Pig and Elvis. Well, I happen to know that Elvis helped. Or no, excuse me, Bionic Pig helped. So it wasn't an attack on them. Their criticism was completely separate, and it had to do with cowardness.
He apologized for the misunderstanding.
Elvis and Pig have expressed like regret for doing that publicly.
They've done it privately.
By the way, this is filmed late 2020. Well, late 2020, and I think it was December 29th. Keep that in mind.
As well. I don't hold any ill will towards either of them personally.
I'm 100% against the end.
This particular podcast, where they apologize after they screwed this guy, right? And I think it was legitimate at the time. I don't believe anything out of their mouths anymore. Was in 2017 when Leon Lush was added to the cast. Cast didn't last very long. They actually had a pretty good cast when all three of them were together.
Mainly because it was all about his sociopathy that he doesn't have, and what we just assumed he had, you know, based on what he told us. If you have any respect for any of us, just leave the guy alone, really.
Elvis hasn't apologized, and Pig hasn't apologized.
Isn't it a little...
And that looks like he apologized, and I didn't let them off the hook. When that particular stream, when was that one? That was in late 2022, right? Well,
2021, you mean?
Yeah, 2021. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They took their apology back. I'd made my whole thing with those guys has always been they virtue signal on especially like left-wing issues. Like, it's Mental Health Month. And this time they were virtue signaling on David Dobrik. And I'm like, you guys are the last guys on the fucking earth to be doing this shit. Because you don't stand up when your own people are getting fucked up. But it's easy to stand up and say, David Dobrik, bad guy. That's all I was saying. And here's the best part.
Friend of Ed, Fred. I mean, Ed might not see me as a friend, but I will always, I will always see him.
Always been. I had him at the best of our intentions.
Well, technically, they were cool with him as this thing was happening. This is the original Exposed pod. They wanted to be his friend, and they supported him in the sense, I guess he had to go. They supported him in the sense that they still wanted to be his friend. That's important. Because when Nick's video came out, all of a sudden they got on the defensive. And it's nothing because of Nick did, or Zapti did. Zapti said they've apologized privately. But the fans had a problem with it. And that's not my fault. I didn't go on a campaign against Bionic Pig. I actually went after him on virtue signal on David Dobrik. And then Elvis replied.
It's a little nuanced in situation.
I'll read it to you. I've done these videos and go back and watch them if you like. Not comparable in the slightest. I was never his friend. So he said he was friend at the time. Several months later when he got Leon Lush, he said that, that he got a raw fucking deal. And now, not comparable in the slightest, I was never his friend. Also accused him of what? Of being a sociopath? He told him himself. Okay, I've said before that that's probably kind of fair. That he was diagnosed later to reveal that he was lying. He said, "You're worth getting arrested for." All this was good. Why did Pig help us out? And we were supposed to get arrested for to an underage girl, but I'm the bad guy. Wait a minute. I'm his friend, and then when he starts getting a little heat in the kitchen, he's not his friend. I pointed that out. I'm not going to cancel a guy with a huge clothing line and what have you. I don't care. Let's point it out. And yes, I was personally and emotionally invested in the Zapti case. Absolutely. Especially after being a friend with I Am Alex. And I like the fact that he got a second chance. And I hate the fact that it's been tainted because you have beef with Nick. I hate it. It wasn't necessary. You didn't have to drag him in to make your point. You could have definitely went on Nick for 1,000 different things. Or Augie, or Tipster, or John. But Zapti was just too much. And from what I understand, during this whole thing, you approached Zapti in bad faith, acting like a friend until he figured out what you're trying to do. So, yeah, I'm even more convinced that we were kind of out of order. I'm even more convinced that whatever you said, that aside from the jokes, are probably not true. I think it's safe to assume that. I know how you did me, and I'm hearing what you're doing. Like, you approached Zapti. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, we're going to have all the mercy in the world with the Ice Cube pussy guy.
That's
and
a lot of money, I guess,
have
for a person of color.
No mercy for Zapti, a guy you recently befriended, but you needed him to make a video on Nick. It's fucking crazy, man. That's sick. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that. And I've done some fucked up shit. Let's keep going.
Little embarrassing that these two dumb fucks got strung along into posting this defamatory podcast by a 17-year-old kid with a speech impediment.
No, defamatory would be knowingly posting misinformation.
Fair enough. But they never really tried to correct it. All right, he used the wrong word, but they never tried to correct it. That's a character flaw. That's serious. These are guys that tell you, you should do this. You should take your vaccines. You should treat people nicely. You should stand up for what's right. Stand up against racism. That's what these guys say on the regular. But they can't stand up for their own because it might affect their bottom line.
Zapti told them he was a diagnosed sociopath. It's literally entirely his fault that this was even an accusation.
Again, I agree on that. But There's nothing much we can do about it, and I was the only guy in the fucking community that didn't believe it. I didn't buy it. But I eventually gave in, probably because everybody's calling me a pedo. I got kids. I can't have that.
That's a lot of
Not
money, I
public.
guess, for a person of color.
How are you still not getting this?
I hate to say it, and I don't think every word he says is gospel, but Jordan Peterson, you don't want to be the guy crying in the corner out of control and not being able to take care of everything when your parents
Shut up.
die. Because people are counting on you. And in this case, Zapti was counting on you.
Can you just remind me how dead parents and Jordan Peterson are related?
I don't know. You got to watch the stream. I was using Jordan Peterson as example. I quoted him on something he said about weakness. So I guess I guess when you're just looking for the clips you need, I guess you don't gotta watch the stream. There is context there, but okay.
Great clip. It was a great clip.
Oh yeah,
What the fuck
it makes me look unhinged.
That's a lot of money, I
And
guess.
look, that's
for a
fine. That's the
person of color.
comedic stuff. Tommy didn't do nothing. Tech can kick rocks and fall off a pipe. Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. That's fine. I don't care about it. I mean, it makes me look on kids. That's like the comedy edits. I don't really have a problem with. I have more of a problem with being like lumped in with everybody. And even after look, different situations have different. I'll have different opinions on different situations. Like we're not afforded that. The video is called the commentary community, as if it's a monolith. The problem was Tech is funny and it's easier to buy into. I agree with you. He's talented. While the people who are right are also boring. Yeah, and I'm glad this is happening now on his way up to 100K because, like I said, in November, I don't know how much longer he can do this until somebody catches him. It could either be a really tiny YouTuber that builds his career off his bullshit or lies or deceptions. But yeah, in the meantime, and I think he knows this to some extent, he's so goddamn talented, any mistakes he makes or smears he makes that he knows will have impact. Like as soon as you get accused of something, you're on the defensive, like I am now, right? Like it won't matter because he's fucking good. He's cool. He's funny. He's mega talented. I said he was iDubbbz, but in comparison to iDubbbz hasn't been known to do anything shady until just recently with Sam Hyde. I don't know if you can pick up Leafy's video and find a deceptive edit that wasn't comedic. I talked to Leafy during that time. I don't think he ever said to me that it was all lies. I don't think anybody would say that. So, I'm just, like I said, I'm just getting the vibe that this all comes down to, they said your video sucked, they didn't like the content, and nobody does act the technicals. He's the next iDubbbz.
Listening to.
I cried like a bitch at my grandfather's funeral in 1997.
You should have been a better friend to Zapti.
All right, fair. But I would invite you to watch it. I wouldn't say it's well spoken, but I was using a Jordan Peterson comparison about, weakness and, standing up to things that are difficult to do, even though they might hurt. That was the whole point. So I hope the context was provided. Good clip.
I've been sitting here for a while now, and I can't think of anything more pathetic than a guy in his 40s running a drama channel, waving his moral superiority over people who have actually successful content.
What would that have to do with it? I mean, all right, I can't criticize them because they're more successful than me. I can't point out that they're constantly yammering about what's right and do what's right, and they don't do what's right when it's it's on the line. Well, I've done it.
If you want to criticize Elvis, there's probably plenty of things that you can find. But if you're going to sit here and pretend like you're a better person than Elvis the Alien just because you stood by a guy who cheated on his girlfriend with a 16-year-old...
I've stood by a lot of guys, not so much the 16-year-old point, but cheated on his girlfriend. Are you really going for the female vote on this one? 20-year-old guy cheating on his girlfriend? Yeah, I said before, big red flag on your guy too. Sure. Absolutely. It's unforgivable. It's fucking, well, I wouldn't say it's unforgivable. That's obviously the wrong word. But it's definitely, but it's something he took responsibility for. And you know what he didn't do? Well, he didn't try to hunt the person down. And he didn't go to a commentator and think, well, let's go find her. Your guy did, not my guy. I'll stand by my guy. He did something really fucked up, paid a horrible price for it. Your guy did something fucked up, and they got a guy like you to twist the whole thing and be some kind of fucking victim. And we even have evidence that you leaked. Nobody else got it. You were fucking dead set of going after the girl he confessed to. He confessed about telling this chick to put ice in her pussy and take a fucking picture, knowing she was 14 years old. Zapti was catfish. This guy wasn't. Not in that sense. And then he confessed to it. And the only way out, the only response you had was, you know, this is my, this was going to be his last message on Earth. Pardon me if I don't think that's a crock of bullshit. I'll take Zapti.
You can go fuck yourself.
I do have a message. You know, that's another thing too. Let's go back. This I don't understand because, like I said, my criticism was harsh but never personal.
I've been sitting here for a while now, and I can't think of anything more pathetic than a guy in his 40s running a drama channel, waving his moral superiority over people who have actually successful.
Well, you know, I wish you wouldn't have come on if you thought I was that pathetic, because you came on what, 3 times, 2 times?
2 times, yeah.
Yeah, he came on 2 times. Every one of my interaction was with you was fine. But, you know, are you doing what Elvis and Bionic Pig do? You was just, you know, it was just a climb up the clout ladder? Well, I'm not known for doing that kind of stuff, for sure. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why things didn't go as well for me as they did for Zapti, as for Elvis the Alien. You know, because I wasn't willing to do those things. I don't know. Maybe I suck. Could be. I'm definitely not as good as you at this. But I don't do what you do. And I wish that if you thought I was such a pathetic loser, because believe me, I'm really trying to get rid of people that think I'm a pathetic loser and will smile in my face. I just wish you wouldn't have come on. You know, there's lots of people that I know through other people that have never come on. You know, and like, where is this venom coming from? I said your video sucked. I said Zero's a fucking Zero's a creep for doing what he did, and it's different than Zapti. That's all I said. Under those rules, that's legitimate criticism to technicals. I obeyed. But I did notice this. Turkey Tom made a video. You didn't cover him. But he went to you. Bobax has been cool with you. No videos. He didn't get in there. I'm sure he's made
My dick's
comments.
too small.
I'm sure he made comments on it. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not fucking casting shade on either one of those guys. People that got down and said, I'm cool with you, were spared. People that gave you harsh criticism or even unreasonable criticism were not spared.
Content. If you want to criticize Elvis, there's probably plenty of things that you can find. But if you're going to sit
he's a big phony.
here and pretend like you're a better person than Elvis the Alien just because you stood by...
I don't know if I'm a better person than Elvis the Alien. I don't know every aspect of his life, but I tell you something I've never done. I've never exposed anybody on here. Fucked it up royally. Apologized about it. Unapologized about it when it was politically convenient, and then ran to him when it was also politically convenient, and possibly I could move technicals around in my defense to get back with my enemies. I've never done anything like that. So you can come to the decision where I'm a better person than them or not. They may be better content creators. They may be better. They may be, you know, better YouTubers, know the game. But I tell you something, man. If that's what gets you views, count me out. I mean, it's just a matter of time before, I don't know, you get exposed and somebody calls you a phony like me.
By a guy who cheated on his girlfriend with a 16-year-old, you can go fuck yourself.
I do have a message. You stuck up for a chick that... You stuck up for a dude that told a 14-year-old to put ice in her pussy. I'll take my guy. All right, my guy's fucked. All right? You can have the ice pussy, guy. I'll take Zapti. Broke up with his girlfriend when was he 20 when he did that? She told him he's 17. Then she said she lied. She was 16. Was that it? Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then he tried to cheat on her, right? But it didn't work out. Oh, and as soon as he found out, he basically came clean and told everybody that he was a big sociopath. Your guy had to get caught. All right, this is pretty funny too. I'm breaking up with Nicholas Diorio emotional. And actually, I really like this because it proves my point, because this isn't about commentary. This is about dick slinging. For technicals, I would rather you leave the whole fucking thing out if you are making a video on Nick, and I'm pretty sure you are. Please don't talk to me about this. I think you're both egomaniacs. You're not. That's fair. Doing commentary, you're playing cancel games. Have I engaged in that kind of stuff before? Yes, but always in self-defense. I never fucking targeted somebody to take them out.
If you're going to be involved in canceling people, why not admit that you do it to people who deserve it? And
I will, and I definitely misspoke there. Not only will I defend myself, but it's not the only reason. I will defend other people. And that's what I should have get. And you know what? My reputation and the people that are in here right now know I will stick up for other people. Under those two circumstances, that's it. And that's what I was doing in the case of Elvis the Alien and Bionic Pig.
instead of making up this really shitty excuse that you do it in self-defense. How do you cancel someone in self-defense? Oh.
I don't know. They say you can't feed your family, or you're lying about this or lying about that, or they call you a pedophile. Go fucking cancel them if you can. But I don't really ever cancel anybody. I never even use those words. Let's go cancel them. I just point it out and I move on, like I did with your boy. So I mean, I don't go harping on Twitter and fighting with absolutely fucking everybody. It's I've learned it's just in the long run it gets you, and then you end up seeing the tweet and expose video, and you'll be in there one day too. You're hot now, but I've been here longer, and I'll watch it happen.
Oh, dude, I had to bring up the fact he was a pedophile, or else I was gonna lose the mortgage.
Oh, yeah, this actually proves my point here too. Holy, hold on.
You do it to people who deserve it, instead of making up this really shitty excuse that you do it in self-defense. How do you cancel someone in self-defense? Oh, dude, I had to bring up the fact he was a pedophile, or else I was gonna lose the mortgage on my house.
I didn't. That's the other thing. So this is direct. He was deliberately deceptive. I think it's fair to say. I think you put a 1 in the chat if he was deliberately deceptive. I never called this boy a pedophile. I was much more liberal, and I think to the chagrin of some of the other guys and everybody else. I gave the most balanced, fair take on that guy. I did say he was fucking creepy, and I did say the Zapti situation is different, and I think that's where your argument falls apart, because they are very different situations, and they deserve, I don't know, different remedies and different criticisms. You know where I learned that? I learned it from fucking technicals.
While it's true that both are bad, the cases are wildly different.
Exactly. I agree.
Was it self-defense when you said no one should work with Elvis the Alien?
Absolutely not self-defense, but I will, when somebody is that, when somebody's willing to screw people like this old Zapti, I will absolutely mention it to other guys. I will absolutely scream it at the top of my lungs. If that ends up getting their canceled, that's fucking fine. But as far as deliberately targeting, I mean, we didn't dig up the Zapti case, kind of how you let on to go after Elvis and Pig. Again, Pig even helped. He even gave Nick one of his songs. And I wasn't even that intimately involved in it. All I ever did was promote it on my channel because I like Nick's videos. Elvis the Alien probably shouldn't be worked with, collabed with. If you're trying, I stand by fucking that. To collab with somebody with moral character.
Yeah, that was.
Thanks for leaving that part in. I appreciate that. Moral character.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for
self-defense, right? Fucking get over yourself, dude. Nick, why?
Well, I will, and that's pretty much my whole part right there. You know. And I don't know, the commentator telling me to get over myself because I'm self-righteous. Oh, do I have a grandstand before? Absolutely. Absolutely have I grandstand. But I don't think I've ever done this. Technicals, you got me. And now this right here, listen closely, is my suicide stream. No, you did that, not me.